I never seen God's eyes, but I seen the devil's. He walks with men on earth at different levels. He knows the king we serve, so he hates and meddles and prays that we all burn and turn to rebels. He tried to get my soul, but I'll never settle. I walk the lonely road from the burbs to ghettos. I'll take the gift bestowed and return a vessel. I am the one they chose. Yeah. Rebellious in all ways, since innocence birth. He knew that it would happen when he put us on this earth. We demonize religion, brought corruption to the church. We know the price of everything, but we don't know the worth. We spend all of our time idolizing false prophets. Comparison's the enemy. Stop watching others' pockets. The social system's broken. We divide on every topic. They fabricate the truth and we all monetize the gossip. We know the problems and we see them but don't want to change. We're desensitized to every issue because they let us profit off of people's pain. In this dystopian age, we are the game that he plays. And all the evil, deceitful people should shake our faith. I've never seen God's eyes, but I've seen the devil's. He walks with men on earth at different levels. He knows the king we serve, so he hates and meddles and prays that we all burn.
All right, I'm back.
He tried to get my soul, but I'll never settle. I walk this lonely road from the burbs to ghettos.
Is everything still working?
To return a vessel, I am the one they chose. Yeah. Our God is an awesome artist. In perilous times we seek his grace as the world and the times we face turn fake in the face of the devil's mirages. In the midst of the pain, disdain, and the media's push of all this garbage, I pray that you keep your faith as a whole or breaks and the real get disregarded. It's about time that we take it back. The wait's too great, but the can was back. Strong men made like an easy task, and now the weak men feminize every act. In the church, in the workplace, every class, on the television screen, in the state of rap. All virtues gone and it's fade to black. We in hell on earth and it's gone black. Integrity's lost, hedonism, we incentivize gods on the way the revolution will be televised. Gone too far to know if we can rectify, and those gates will testify. So I'm saying it now so they counteract clockwise. We are living in times where the wicked is all rise, the intelligent fall while the stupid is all thrive, and the real get pushed aside. I never seen God's eyes, but I seen the devil's. He walks with men on earth at different levels. He knows the king we serve, so he hates and meddles and prays that we all burn and turn to rebels. He tried to get my soul, but I'll never settle. I walk this lonely road, the birth to ghettos. I'll take the gift bestowed and return a vessel. I am the one they chose. Yeah.
Now we're either sell and retire.
I gotta get this out of here.
It's not for us to worry about. It's God.
But I love that song. That's all I can say. Is I love that song. It's so powerful. It's a lot to break down in that in that song. Have you girls listened to it since I shared it with you last week? No, it's fine if you haven't. If you haven't, I personally almost lost the song. I almost lost it. I was like, I couldn't find it. I was like, where'd it go? Oh, you're on mute. You should get off mute. There you go. Is that better?
No, you're still talking.
Well, I know I'm talking.
Am I the only one unmuted?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you better. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, because I was hearing two of you.
Oh, you were hearing two of me?
Turn
Oh no, I'm telling you, you were on YouTube also.
Oh no, I need to quiet the YouTube. That's what I did last time.
Yes, you must quiet.
There we go. I'm better now. Thank you.
No worries. You know what? I'll tell you the very first thing that is on my mind. Girl, what are you doing?
I'm trying to move my food.
What you doing?
You look, she's messing with stuff. She's like the bad kid in class making stuff noise during the test.
I don't make noise during the test, but I do. I can't sit still.
You a fidgeter?
I have to get up and move. I can't sit for long.
Oh, okay. Well, you'll never have that problem. You'll never be the person that has that problem. Like you get blood clots in your legs and stuff because you don't move. That won't be you.
No.
That won't be you.
I can sit down, but I always love, like at work, I stand up during the day. I stay up, and I have one of those desks that you can bring up and you can stand up.
Oh, okay. You have a standing desk?
A standing
I
desk.
wish I
yeah.
had one of those. Those would
Yeah.
be good for me.
You know what I just realized? Besides us all being women of blessing, we all have a teaching background. I just realized that.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I just realized that.
Wow.
Which is awesome. But listen, have you guys heard anything about what Jada Pinkett Smith had to say?
No,
I didn't listen yet. I
No.
saw something on YouTube, and I was gonna listen to it a little bit later today, and I haven't had a chance to hear what she was saying. But people are not happy with her. I know that.
Well, I don't know all the reasons why they're not happy with her, but I did catch a little bit of the fact that she said that she and Will have been separated since 2016.
Yeah, I saw that. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that's what caught my eye about it, because she was doing an interview and the person was saying, well, why not get divorced? Why not get divorced? And she was trying her best to explain why she couldn't get divorced and how it was that she couldn't break that promise of being his wife. And I thought to myself, it's a soul tie.
Mm-hmm.
It's a soul tie, and she really couldn't put it into words. And I know she's done a lot of weird stuff, but that particular aspect of her journey, I was like, I understand.
Who are we talking about?
Do you know who Will Smith is?
Will
Bella.
Smith, the actor.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, his wife Jada Pinkett, is that right? Jada Pinkett, whatever.
Pinkett Smith.
Mm-hmm.
She recently came out with a book, and they've had a lot of weird stuff going on in their relationship. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I can't even name everything that I've heard about, but basically, it all boils down to the slap, the big fat slap. But a lot of people are asking, like, why would he be so upset if they really weren't together, you know, in that particular way? And soul tie. So I'm going to ask you both, in your own words, how would you define a soul tie?
I would define it as something that it connects you to another person.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a soul tie with my mother and my father.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you get married and then you join to somebody else, that's another soul tie.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can also have soul ties with friends that you're really, really, really close to, like in the Bible where they talked about Jonathan and David.
Mm-hmm.
Those those are soul ties. It's something that connect. It's a bond that connects another person to another person. That's how I define it.
I think that's really good. And so
like
soul ties are not necessarily a bad thing.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right.
Now, I think you were sharing with me, do you think just because you sleep with somebody, like if you have, relations with someone, do you think that automatically creates a soul tie?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so do you think those are broken easily or no?
I don't think so.
I don't think it's broken easily.
Yeah.
I think that you have to go to God and you have to break it, and you have to break your agreements and all that other stuff. You have to go through it's a process.
Mm-hmm. So when people say that they can sleep with somebody and then they don't really feel anything, or it's just over, it was just sex. What do you think about that? Do you think
I think you still have a soul tie. They just don't.
Yeah.
They're just making soul ties with other people, and then they're all transferring their soul pieces of themselves with other people.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Well, so wait a minute. Do you think that you could sleep with so many people that now the contribution of your soul is so small you don't even notice that it's
Correct.
gone?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're searing your conscience, and you're not.
Wait. Say that part again. You're searing
your conscience, where you're not feeling anything anymore. You're not really. You're just doing things.
Yeah, you're not aware because you are just doing it. You're not aware.
You're just doing things with other people, and they may have other feelings, and they may have feelings, but you may just be uncaring about it. But I think that the enemy is controlling you when you're acting like that. And I think that you are, because the enemy is very, very evil and cruel. And that's the kind of that's why it's so important that you don't have sex with somebody that's not your husband or your wife, because you don't have any commitment. They don't have any commitments to you. They don't have to be with you. They can sleep with somebody else. They can if they want to. It's their body. They can just do whatever they want to with, but that's not the way God designed it.
Correct. So let me ask you this. What about in the Bible, where, because I want to go down the track of, is it different for men than for women? Because in the Bible, a lot of men would have concubines. So, what is your thought on that? Or is it just, is it just affecting women in that way? Or do you think men are affected in the same way? Because that was okay back then, Okay. And but as a matter of fact, the Abraham's firstborn was through the concubine.
But actually, that was not a concubine. That was Sarah's slave. That was forced.
Okay.
Yeah, that was not a concubine. Right.
But I guess the reason why I say concubine in that situation, because it was kind of the same scenario.
Yeah, because afterwards, I guess it was after the first time that they slept together, I guess then that's a relationship right there. That's a tie right there. So then it will continue.
We don't know how many times it took before she got pregnant.
Yeah.
I was thinking,
so there's still definitely a soul tie.
Yeah, for both
with
men and
Hagar and Abraham, and also with Sarah and Abraham.
Yeah, and then the second, well, the other concubine, what's her name, Sakura. After Abraham died, and they don't mention it a lot, but I was listening to a show. After Sarah died, Abraham had another concubine.
Ooh, talk about it. Refresh my mind.
Yeah, Sakura.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Did she have children?
Yes, she has 6 children with Abraham.
I don't even remember this.
What book is that in? I'm sure it's in the Old Testament.
It's in Genesis 25.
Girl, break out your Bibles. Break it out. Read it.
Yeah. I was listening to because I like to listen to those shows, and I was listening to that. Yeah, and I was like, oh.
Yeah. What's her name again? I'm gonna look it up. What's her name?
Katura.
Okay, you look it up on, in your Bible. I'm going to find out. Hold on. See if I can get a video.
If you look at Abraham, Genesis 25, Abraham's other wife and sons.
So he married her?
According to the documentary, he didn't marry her. It was a concubine. But because the relationship was only mutual to her and him, then I guess he became like a wife later on after years. But
I see it. It came right up as soon as I turned to Genesis 25.
Yeah.
1 and 25.
Yeah, it started right at 25. It says, then again, Abraham took a wife. So he did marry her. And her name was Keturah.
Keturah, yeah.
Okay, so I guess
wife.
But it's a wife. It's a wife. So that's completely different. We were talking about second wives last week, remember?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm really glad that you brought that up. Who are those children? What's that lineage? Because we have
Abraham, Zimran, Josh, Jokshan, and Midian.
Midian. That's where Midian come from.
Midian. Oh, okay, Midian.
Yeah, Ishbak. According to what the documentary was saying, a lot of these are ancestors of Arabic nations.
That's very interesting.
Yeah,
that's very.
Yeah,
that is very, very interesting. Because like I was thinking earlier, this all this stuff that we're having with Israel and
Hamas,
the Palestinians, all of those, yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I thought to myself, that goes all the way back to biblical times.
But remember when was it Rebecca that had the twins? He said you're carrying two nations inside of you, right?
Yeah.
So that means so that says a lot. So so how many nations is that? That's a lot of kids right there. There was
and it's not
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And they only mention Jacob's generation because that's the one that God chose to have Jesus come from, but they don't mention the other ones that are related to Jacob in some way. They're all related.
But when you ask that question about is it different for men than women? And I think it is, but I just don't really know how to describe the way they feel because I'm not a man. But
that is true.
What I think men give and then women receive.
I'm going to ask the audience, why might a soul tie be different for a man than a woman, specifically as it relates to intercourse, romantic relations, specifically in that area? Why might that be different? Because I would think I don't know that your soul has a gender.
That is a good question. Yes.
I don't know that your soul has a gender. So
your body, your body has a gender, but the spirit doesn't.
Yeah.
But the flesh is the one that's causing you to do or not do it.
That is true. And I think
in a man's body.
Tiffany, when you say it like that, the man is harder for them to get it tied up because they go from women to women to women. When the woman gets tied up quickly, they're looking for assurance, they're looking for love, they're looking for somebody to take care of them, they're looking for that I don't know what the word is
right.
for that. Yeah, but the man, the man is easy to say, I'm leaving, and they leave.
Yeah, because they can just pack up. See, if you have a baby by a man, they can just pack up and leave. And then you're stuck with the child. I mean, I don't know, it's not as easy to leave as it is for them to walk. They can walk away. Yeah. And then they can just make more babies someplace else.
Yeah.
Well, okay, not saying that I disagree with you and that has been the practice, but there are women who leave their children.
Yeah.
That is true too.
Yeah, I'm just saying that it just seems to be that it seems easier for a man to do it than a woman.
Yeah.
Because the woman actually is the one that's actually carrying the baby for 9 months. She's the one that if she ends up nursing the baby, she's nursing. And then there's more of a connection there.
Yeah, and
that might make that builds
Yeah.
relationship in itself.
Yeah,
And
and it's also I also think that it depends on the way that woman was raised. Some women are raised just to be go-getters. They just want career, and they are
Mhm.
easy to leave the baby.
Right.
But I don't think there's a lot of women that are in that category. I think there's more men in the category than women. Women are more nurturing and they want to stay with the baby and they want to be the best for the baby. When men, they're like, hey, just keep the baby. I'm leaving. I'm going.
Okay, I see. We have some men out there, and so I'm putting it out there to the guys. I really do want y'all to try answer this question.
They definitely need to.
Right.
Yeah.
Can you tell us if you believe that a soul tie is different for a man versus a woman? As it relates to sexual relations, and I guess I should say as it relates to anything, because I think that a father can have just as much of a capacity to love their child.
Mm-hmm.
No, I agree with that. Yeah.
As a woman can.
Yeah.
At the same time, I do notice that men are, I don't know, they let go of their sexual conquest a little bit easier. But some men, matter of fact, I think Will Smith is probably really, how can I put it, immersed in his soul tie with Jada. Because he's been perfectly quiet. He has been perfectly quiet throughout all of this.
Mm.
Yeah.
He has not said one thing, negative about her. He did that big old slap to Chris Rock. And she seems to be the person with her mouth open. And I'm just thinking, why say that in your book? I don't know.
I don't either.
I don't understand why she released that in her book, but I do understand the idea of not wanting to. It's hard. It's hard getting divorced. If you are truly, truly married to someone, divorce is not just like, okay.
Right.
No, yeah, that's true, because you're going to try to put it together. You're going to try to solve whatever problem. You're going to go to therapy. You're going to fight for that, to repent and turn around and really try to solve whatever problem is. Yeah, if you're really.
I guess I feel like it's different because of how men and women are different. And I feel like the devil knows how to get he knows how to get us to, just like he went to Eve.
Yeah.
He knows what to do to make
to tempt us.
because he that's why he has all this pornography out there and everything like that, because it's very tempting for men to see a woman, just like when David saw Bathsheba, taking a bath and stuff like that. It's just that's how they're easily enticed by nudity and stuff like that. And women, we want secure, like she was saying, we want security, we want a family. He knows the desires that we have, and he knows the desires that they have, and so he just uses them against us.
Yeah, you said it, the desires that we keep in our hearts. Yeah.
Wait a minute. So I don't know if I like the phrase that he uses them against us.
Our weaknesses or our
weaknesses.
He's using our what he knows about us against us.
Okay,
yeah, he knows where we're hurt. He knows what our inequities, and he's going to get us through that, to weak us, to make us doubt, to make us have anxieties and worries, and we, if we're not in the word and we're not as strong and stand firm in the word, then we turn to the right or we turn to the left and we fall.
Yeah, well, knowing our natural vulnerabilities, I think that's okay. So he's really not using the man against us. He's using our weaknesses.
Correct.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I meant.
Yeah. He's using our weaknesses, our
whatever is tempting us, because the man is tempted through their sight. When they see women that they're interested, and then that it just makes them like that, and then we are tempted through other things. And he just uses those temptations against us. And like if you're with somebody and you have a child by them or whatever, for a woman, and the devil knows that you really are into that child and stuff like that. So there a lot of times in divorces and stuff like that, it's always the man is threatening to take the kids away from the woman, because he knows that's where to hit them where it hurts. Even if the man doesn't even really want the kids to be with them, they just do it just because it's not the man that's really doing it so much as the enemy is using them to do that. Because he knows that that's where it's going to really destroy us. If you take our kid away, then it's we're going to be really not happy, and then that's something that could cause a person to walk away from God.
Do you think men feel like walking away from God when they get their children taken away?
Some may. But well, I mean, maybe he's using the children against both the parents. Well, I should say it like that.
I mean, divorce is a nasty thing. I know so many people now. There's like divorce party or happily divorced, or I don't know.
A divorce party.
It's a lie.
You ever heard of a divorce party before?
No, I haven't heard that. I haven't heard that. Yeah.
You've never heard of a divorce party?
No, that's gotta be like.
I know it's phony. It's not real.
I'm gonna look it up because first of all, I can tell you for a fact there are divorce parties. You don't believe me?
I'm not saying that there is not. I'm just saying that anybody that's saying that they're happily divorced is lying. That's what I'm saying.
I think
that depends. But I think that depends, because I know that probably people are desperate to get out of it because they're offended and they don't know how to forgive and how to move on, and they just want to get rid of the person. They want to move on. They want to have.
I don't know. Divorce for me was like death.
Say that again.
I said divorce for me was like death. It was horrible.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Not that I wanted to still be with a person, but I still cared about them. Still care about their journey in life. Wanted good things for them. But it was even hard to say I want a divorce. Even that was hard, because I can't say I ever really wanted a divorce, but I wanted to stop what I was going through.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know, it's different than wanting a divorce. And like when you get a divorce, it's you're now this person versus this person. That's painful, because it's like being against yourself. That versus, it is like being against yourself.
Yeah, that's true.
It's painful. What are you saying here? As let's see.
Well, yes.
She's saying
he said fidelity is for women, not for men. I'm going to send you you're going to have to explain yourself, sir, on that. I think he's going to come up with something from the Bible that I think is long. He said fidelity is for women, not for men. You're gonna have to explain yourself, sir.
Well, I don't know where that comes from.
Yeah.
Prove that's what not what God. I know that's not the way that God designed it.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
From the way
I'm going to go on mute for a second because I want to give ask this link. Go ahead, keep talking.
I'm just saying that when in Genesis, when he was talking about a man should leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife,
correct.
He didn't say that it should be many of them or anything like that. But I mean, I know that it did happen that they did have other wives and concubines and stuff like that.
Yeah, but it was because what I remember, it was because the women were not able to have children, or the women were not, mainly because of the children, because they wanted women that were fertile, that were giving boys especially. Yeah. So, but you're right. But you're right. He said the man will leave the parents to join the wife, and they will stay together in one.
And then when you're having all these different women, you're
making a mess. Yeah, like Jacob did.
And that wasn't even his fault.
No. That he had what he was having Leah, and had all these kids, and then Rachel, and then so I don't know.
I'm talking, you can't hear me.
What did you say?
You said it wasn't even his fault, and I still say that he was responsible.
Well,
he was somehow responsible, but there were other things that happened.
His father-in-law tricked him.
Yeah,
his father-in-law tricked him, but he still had an option to say, like, he could have said no. He might have not got what he wanted. Okay. But he still could have said no. He was in quite a pickle, but he still could have said no.
Okay. I never thought about it like that before, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I see it too. Yeah, he could have said no to the deal that he had, but
so he was so he would have just been left with nothing.
With Leah.
So he would have had to find
only
somebody
with
else.
Leah. But then he was so.
I mean, because if we're saying, oh man, you know, they could just do it so easy, and they're not really, their heart's not too attached, and all this kind of stuff. It's like, I don't know.
Maybe they do have those attachment things going on, and they just want to be attached to many.
I'm really hoping that we can get a explanation of fidelity is for, what did he say? Fidelity is
women.
It's for women. It's for women, not
for men. And I don't think that's true, because it's for both of them to be loyal to each other.
Yes, because he gives us laws like not to commit adultery.
Correct.
So if he said that, then why would he tell you not to commit adultery?
That is true. That's one of the.
And why would that apply to one and not the other?
Exactly.
That doesn't make sense.
And you had to get papers of divorce, to divorce one wife to marry another wife, and it had to be because of wanting children, because that other woman was infertile.
Linda is trying to come in. I need to help her. Girls, keep going. I need to try to help Linda come in. She's trying, but she's having difficulty. I'm going to check in on her, but keep going.
Okay. I don't know where I don't really have anything to add right now.
Well, you can hold on. You can talk about wolves in sheep, because wolves in sheep's clothing is the next thing on the list, and then having self-confidence and who God made you to be. That's also on the list. And then you can also circle back around to the idea of going through baptism by fire. You can circle back around to that as well. Okay. So I know you had something to say about baptism by fire.
Okay. So
baptism by fire, what is it? Sheep's dressed involves.
As is back here, he wants to explain unmute yourself. As, please share your thoughts on why were you saying that men don't have to be faithful?
You've got to put me on stage. Am I on stage or not?
You are on stage, sir.
Oh wow! I just can't. Oh, okay. Okay, weird. I can't see myself. Hello, Bella and Tiffany and Coach Love.
You don't have your camera on. That's
how lovely to see you. Haven't seen you for ages.
I know. It's so look, it is so good to be in your presence, dear sir. And I can't hear what's on your mind.
You know, you've got to bear with me because I'm driving, so I do apologize. But I'll try and make a point. With
let me just say this: we have Az's voice, but we don't have him on camera. But it's okay. He's driving, so we just are.
Yeah, but we don't want you to get in an accident.
Yeah, I haven't got my cam on.
Okay, very well.
So are you
So why is it different for men and women? Look, a guy, I think, is faithful to a woman with protecting her, providing for her, for the family, for her. That's his honor to a woman, is to be the provider and the carer. And pretty much she's supposed to be giving back everything he needs, basically. So I don't know. I just see the rewards very different. Like intercourse isn't really for a man. I don't think it gives to him the love that he that he wants to give to the woman, or it doesn't constitute for him providing or being the provider. Whereas the other way around, it's kind of expected for the woman to be there solely for the man. And she's not just there for the man, she's there for the household, the family, and infidelity doesn't mix with that at all. I'm not saying blokes should be getting around sleeping with every woman they want to or all the rest of it, but as you know from history, men have had as many partners as they want, basically. And in a lot of cases, a man will have a wife. If you look at modern day Japan, China, places like that, a man will have his wife and his family, and she's the queen. She's on the pedestal. She's the head of the household and the empire. And if he has a concubine on the side, it's not hidden. It's not a problem. The mistress is a common part of a lot of cultures even today, but it really has no bearing on the fact that he's married one woman and she's the one who's in that position, no one else. You know what I mean? Does that make any sense?
What does that make the concubine? I mean, what does that leave the concubine to a life of?
Not the wife, not the mother.
No, I mean, that's a concubine will never have a suitable place. How does that make sense for her?
Honestly, I think she knows her position. She has, like, the mistress knows she's not the wife. She's made a decision to not be that. She's obviously happy just being that. Look, it's hard to say it's hard for me not to just call her a harlot. But that's the way I see it. She's made a decision to.
Yeah, she has made a decision to be the concubine.
Yeah, and and it's like you were saying before, you sear the consciousness, and that's absolutely right. Once you do things a few times, you just start living with that like it's normal, don't you? And you give up the way it makes you feel, and you don't worry about that, and you just put your benefits that you're getting first.
So if we're accepting that it sears a woman's conscience, are we then going to say that a man's conscience is naturally seared?
No, definitely not, because definitely not. Look, if a bloke's getting around, he's a player, and he's always cheating on his girlfriend or always cheating on his missus, that's different. Yeah, he's definitely got a seared conscience for sure. But polygamous relationships, I don't think the bloke has actually got a seared conscience. He does love his first wife, probably loves all his wives, to be honest. But it's the same thing if you've got a mistress. You do love your mistress, you do care about her, you'll provide for her as well, but she's certainly not the wife. She's certainly not the representation of your family or the head of the household or the children or anything like that. So there's quite a difference there.
I want to put a pause in that, because you said that the man's fidelity is attached to providing and protecting. How's that fidelity if he's also providing and protecting somebody else?
Because the mistress, when you think about it, if your mistress isn't towing the line or makes you look bad or anything like that, she's gone. She's gone tomorrow. You don't have that same sort of honor for an extramarital lady that you do for your wife that you've chosen. It comes down to a lot of maintaining the family in face of society. You'll always keep the peace with your wife and the mother of your children and the representation of your household to the public, whereas you will not apply that to your mistress, would you? You know what I mean? Like she's on a fine line. Either she just fulfills her role and doesn't make you look bad. If she does, she's probably going to get the flick. See what I mean? So there isn't that.
I'm going to ask this question this way. As I recall, you know your Bible pretty doggone well.
I know, aspects that I've sort of studied, and yep, not all of it though, that's for sure.
So can you please make what you're saying biblical for me? Because it just doesn't feel biblical. It doesn't seem to be supported by.
Well, I'm just looking at men and women in general, in today's society. I'm not really looking at it from a biblical point of view, to be honest with you.
Okay.
That sounds like in today's society, it is like that. Yeah.
Okay.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if you just look at
the problem is that we're not looking at things in a biblical way. We're looking at things in a fleshly way, and that's the reason why
that's
we're doing
what it is. Yeah.
Absolutely, especially these days. But things still ring true though. Like, look at the Will Smith and Jada Pinkett business. She's made him look really bad. Like, she's his wife, and yet she has made him look really, really bad. Like, she's sleeping around on him. She sleeps with other men. It's like she wears the boots. You know what I mean? And that's made Will Smith look like a complete and utter cucked simp. You know what I mean? So he's come off looking really bad, and that's the last thing you want happening with your dynamic between your wife, your household, and society, isn't it? Whereas if Will Smith was to be going around sleeping with other women and Jada was okay with it because she's still the crowned queen of his household, society wouldn't care as much, would they? You see, some things are still how they've always been. And I don't know if it's an unfair difference, but it's kind of the way it's always been. Women are expected to be faithful and the head of the household and sort of keeping the whole unit together. But you're on that pedestal for that reason. That's just the way I look at it, the way I feel about it anyway.
So
see, they both though are doing the same thing. It's not just Jada. Will is doing the same thing too.
I want to jump in. We have Linda here.
Hi, Linda.
Hi, Linda.
Hi, how are you guys?
Good.
Wonderful. Go ahead, Linda. Say what you
Well, I want to get back to something that the gentleman said about men being faithful to the side piece. And that's more farther from the truth, as the truth is the truth. Many times men will do that because you got women that allow it. It has nothing to
That's
do
a
with
good word.
care, love, and all of that. It's what he can get away with. If he can get away with a wife and a side chick and the side chick's okay with it, he's going to do it. But I
Yeah,
don't think love has anything to do with that.
no,
Because if
and
that was the case, I don't think he would be in the marriage.
that's a player, right? That's a player. That's a guy who has burnt his that's a guy who has seared his conscience. You know what I mean? Like if he's
You
doing
got it.
something behind his
I've been a victim of that. That's why I'm really speaking on it, because I think people, until you've been a part of that and experienced it, you really can't really talk it, because it's a very unfair and a very selfish way of being in a relationship, a marriage especially.
I mean, it is kind of like, why get married? Why, if you're going to do that?
Exactly.
Again, I still think it's more of a spiritual thing with how the devil is trying to destroy men and women. He's not just trying to destroy the man, he's trying to destroy us all. He has racism that he uses to try to destroy us. He has all kinds of divisions and things like that. And if a man cheats on a woman, the woman is going to be completely hurt and destroyed and stuff like that. And that's his purpose. His purpose is to destroy us anyway. That's what he's trying to do. And so we're looking at it like it's a flesh and blood type thing, and it's more of a spiritual warfare that we're in. We're all in a spiritual warfare.
Exactly.
Because I'm a product of divorce and stuff like that, and I could see how all of that stuff was something that maybe my parents couldn't even help it.
You're right. Yeah. Because I was going to ask, I don't know much, because I don't know much about what is happening between Will and Jada, but what is their condition of their mind? Were they in the Word? Are they in the Word?
Yeah.
So that's more susceptible for the enemy to play with their mind. And
even when you in the Word, you're still up subject to attacks. You still got to fight though.
Yeah, but you're more. But when you're in the Word, you're more. You know how to fight it.
Yeah.
That when you're not in the Word, you are more susceptible to fall for those things and go to the lost and get in lost.
I'm trying to think of that man. What's his name? Jerry Falwell, where he was over, what's the name of that college? Hillsdale College, is that right?
Was it Liberty?
Liberty.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they had a whole, I don't even know what to call it, but the wife had a guy that she was having a relationship with, and he knew about it, and he was watching. This was a religious college.
What?
Right.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
A religious college.
But were they really practicing? I mean, one thing is
no. I mean,
practice, because if you're practicing that, you're not going to be doing all these things that you're doing. So they were not really practicing. It was just a show.
But there's so many like that in today's time, where they're preaching one thing and living another.
True.
Right.
Facts.
Yeah.
Well, that's I put down was a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Oh.
Because you could be someone who's intentionally misleading someone, or you can be someone who's under attack.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to highlight something that Az said. It seems to me that Az believes if the woman is cheating on the man, then he's weak. It makes the man look weak.
That's what he said. He makes the man look bad.
It makes the man
the whole family, not just the man, the whole family.
Yeah.
The whole household is obviously in disarray if the woman is having extramarital affairs going on. It's hard to look back at like biblical things and try and find examples of what we're talking about, because women doing this isn't something. This is a relatively new thing.
Wait a minute, because the woman at the well was how did
she has several husbands.
Yeah.
And what's the other person's name in Hosea?
Think about Gomer and
yeah, that's what I was thinking about.
Yeah.
Hosea.
Yeah, that's Hosea and Gomer.
Yeah, that's what came to my mind too.
Exactly. Yeah. So this has been going on quite a while. Wait a minute, hold on. And remember, I can't remember if they gave this woman her name or not, but remember the woman who washed Jesus's feet with her hair?
Wasn't it Mary Magdalene?
Magdalene, yeah.
It wasn't.
Was it her? Was it her?
I thought it was. But
anyway, they were talking about how big of a Husat John she was, but it was the Pharisees that knew where her house.
Yeah, yeah, because she used to have all these different personalities, all these different demons, and she didn't have control of herself. And
that's what I'm talking about.
They were just taking they were taking advantage of her when she had these weak moments.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you said it hasn't been going on in biblical times, I brought up those women because it was going on.
Yeah.
So what say you?
It was going on.
Yeah.
No, I mean, we didn't have, like, I can't think of a biblical example of a functioning family, a significant functioning family where the woman was having multiple men. You know what I mean? That's what I meant.
Oh, got it. Yeah. And so I'm trying to, do you know of a functioning family where the man was being, I don't know, a harlot?
Well, no, but you do have the story of what's his name? He had to marry the older sister before he could get the other sister. You know, he had to jump through all the hoops. You know, and it was
that was functioning or not though.
That
was always
yeah, and then didn't Rachel feel really bad
when she found out that Leah was given instead of her? Yeah. And that's where they started fighting, and they started competing with each other.
Yes, they were competing. So I don't know if there is. I would be hard pressed to find a functioning example.
Yeah, that's why I did. I did say I was coming at it from the point of view of how modern day Japanese, wealthy men live today. You know what I mean? Because it is functioning. You know.
Yeah. Wait. So you think if a man that's wealthy does it today, that makes it functioning? You think that's functioning?
As long as the wife knows her place and that she's the wife, that she's the crowned princess of the house, the queen. I don't think she has anything to worry about with a man having a concubine. And, there is a big difference between what I'm talking about, a gentleman who has his wife and his family and takes on a mistress. There's a big difference between that and a bloke who's just a player, who's tapping whatever's at work, whatever's at the bar, whatever's at the club, going out with his mates and tapping other women. I mean, that's a totally different thing. That is a totally different thing.
Wait a minute. Whoa. How is that any different?
Yeah.
I mean, you really lost me.
Well, because in a relationship where like a wealthy Japanese man has his wife and his family, the mistress that he chooses or has, she wouldn't be around if the wife didn't approve.
What? I never heard of such a thing.
But
you have to have the wife's blessing on that. Otherwise, it's not going to work. It's just going to work out terribly.
And you know this to be so?
It is the way it works, yeah. But like I said before, the concubine is disposable. You know what I mean? She has to toe the line as well. She has to know her place. But literally at the end of the day, the point we were originally talking about is why it's bad if the woman does it, and yet it doesn't seem to be a problem if the man does it. How come the man isn't
It's
full of
wrong.
guilt? Or...
It's wrong. Period.
Yeah, it is wrong.
No matter who does it.
No, that's not what we were saying though.
But
Maybe you weren't
saying,
here when we first started talking about it. We were talking about soul ties, and
Right.
it just seems to be easier for a man to, just have soul ties with many women versus women. I mean, we're not saying that women don't do it, but it's not as easy for a woman to do it as it is a man.
A man, yeah. Yeah, because we were saying it's easier for a man to get up and say, "Oh, I'm leaving," than a woman to pack up and say, "Oh, I'm leaving."
Because if that's
my experience is completely the opposite. Unfortunately,
explain your experience.
Yeah, what's your experience?
Well, experiences I've had, it is much easier for the woman to just go and do whatever she likes. It's 2023, you know what I mean? Like, not that I've been married, I haven't been married. So, I'm just speaking it from the point of how faithful a woman is, generally speaking, in today's society. Not very. And, one thing that should tie people to the ground is when they have children. But even that doesn't tie women down to being faithful to their man anymore. They'll risk the whole household, the whole family, and cheat or leave and divorce the husband. I mean, you can't say that men do this all the time, and it's easy for men to do it. All across the West, marriages end in divorce 80% of the time, and 80% of the time, more than 80% of the time actually, it's brought about by the women leaving. And what do we have? No fault divorces now. They just want to leave, so they're just granted the thing. But most divorces across the West are brought on by the woman, not the man. The man isn't the one leaving.
That is true. What
he's saying. But that's because they don't like what is going on.
We have the idea that a man can go out and sleep around and it's okay. And then the woman's supposed to,
just stay.
No, I don't agree. No,
you did.
I'm not.
Like you're saying.
No. I definitely wasn't saying that. A dirty dog's a dirty dog. At the end of the day, he's a player. You know what I mean? You shouldn't have married him in the first place.
Okay, hold on. I just want to rewind. Earlier, not less than 5 minutes ago, did you not say it was okay for a man to have a mistress and it was okay? You gave us the example about the Japanese men and all that.
I do. If I did say that. But I'm talking about. It's not running, one mistress is one mistress. It's not like he's running around sleeping with everybody. And in these cultures, the mistress is known to the wife. She's subservient to the wife. It's a slightly different dynamic, but it's certainly not like being a player. Two different things.
Oh, no, it's not. Linda has dropped off, but I wish she was still on so she could say two different things.
She has some wisdom to share.
She probably thought, this guy, I could jump off if you want to come back up, Linda. It's all right. I'm driving.
No, she didn't. I don't think she left because of you. She didn't.
Okay.
She definitely didn't.
No.
Yeah, it's probably her connection.
You know what?
Because she's ready to battle. She's ready to clap back. So
right. I think you know what? I think you talked yourself into a circle. That's what I'm gonna say. I think.
Oh, yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. It's just that I said something in the chat. You wanted me to come up and clarify myself.
You know what? I'm 100% delighted you came up here to chat, and I honestly think that you gave a point of view that is out there, even though it ends up in a circle. I think that you gave a point of view that's out there, because on one hand, they believe that a man can do these things, but on the other hand, they believe that all these women are not being faithful and all of this kind of stuff. And so it's like this circular thinking.
That's good, Erica. That's good.
Creating behavior. I don't think that what you're saying is that uncommon of a thought process.
Yeah, because the world used to be a different way not long ago. Not like, this is why it comes back to what I said originally. A guy's faithfulness to his wife and his family is providing, and her being the pinnacle of the household and everything, basically. A man is as good as his family and his household. For a woman, it's very different. It's, her man is, I don't know. I don't know. I have gone around in a circle, but the point I'm trying to make is that a man's faithfulness to his woman doesn't circle around intimacy. It circles around providing and her being in her position, at the top of.
I don't know. I think that he.
Did we lose him?
I think we lost him.
We
no.
Maybe he'll come back.
But in a way, I have to agree. That's the look that is happening in society today. But it's because we are away from the word.
His life and what he provides for. That's what a man sees and feels is faithful.
He keeps going.
You're going in and out, so we don't know what really.
He's jumping in and out. But listen, this hour has.
Yeah, I'm getting into the country. That's why I'm getting out of town now. So it's going to start cutting out more and more. But do you understand what I'm saying? Like a man's faithfulness is providing for his family, whereas what a woman brings to the table is her intimacy, is her care, is her devotion in every way intimate, whether it's sexually with a husband or whether it's emotionally with the children. That is what the woman brings to the relationship. She doesn't bring the providing. She doesn't bring the protecting. That's not the way it's worked. I mean, I know people like to say it's different today in 2023, but for thousands of years, it's been the way it is. You know what I mean? So that's why.
I guess I guess they really just need to teach us about how this stuff is supposed to work, because that doesn't make any. I mean, for me, I'm like, oh my God, like if I thought that my husband was doing something like that would just really break me, and it would not make me. I would not feel good about that at all, and it would not make me want to just say, oh well, I'm the one that has the kids and I'm the one that he's taking care of and stuff like that. But meanwhile, he's doing something with somebody else. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about that.
And I agree with you. And if your husband knows you, he wouldn't do this. You know what I mean? He wouldn't have a mistress if this is the way but he should know you, and he should know that would hurt you. You know what I mean? It is a different world we live in today.
It's a very fleshy world.
Yeah, very much now, definitely.
Yeah, we have gone away from the word, and we're not following God.
Yeah, we've gone a long way away from viewing the spiritualness of the world and your spiritual relationships and your spiritual future, and nobody thinks about their rewards or building their spiritual life. All they think about is the flesh, and that's why you have people running around in emotions, getting hurt, trying to fulfill fleshy desires all the time, because nobody's taught anymore. You're not taught in church anymore about spiritual things, how to guard your spiritual self, how to build your life spiritually in other people's spirits. We're a long way from what people understood for a very long time, and they've robbed it from us between television, the lack of morals, everything we've descended into in this past 100 years has just really destroyed humans in every culture, basically.
It has, we've become a very selfish society.
Yeah.
Wow. I think that you said a mouthful on there. You know what? I think we're coming back next Friday at 7:00 Central Standard Time, 8:00 Eastern Standard Time, and then I think it's 6:00 on the West Coast. Is that 6? No, it's 5 o'clock. It'll be 5 o'clock on the West Coast. I don't know what time it'll be in Australia as.
Is he in Australia?
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow. Awesome.
So, but please tune back in, and trust me, we'll have more interesting things to talk about. I don't.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
yeah,
What time is it in
come
Australia?
back. Yeah.
What's that?
What time is it in Australia?
Right now it's 9 o'clock in the morning, and I'm heading down the country to see my parents on the farm.
Oh wow! Oh wow!
Saturday morning, yeah.
Yeah, it's Saturday morning. Yeah,
grab
it will
some.
be Saturday soon.
Yeah, grab some fresh eggs.
Yeah, and I'll cut up a sheep or two while I'm there.
Sounds beautiful. Sounds beautiful. Listen, family, we are going to get out of here. Maybe we'll talk to you more about these kinds of things again next week.
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No worries. I'll try and make it. And nice to meet you, ladies. Sorry I took up so much of the time.
No, you
okay.
it was really actually good hearing your perspective, a man's perspective. I mean, you were just you were flat out. You said what you said, and you know, and you were just saying, look, a lot of the world feels this way, and all I can say is I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you for your perspective. It's good to hear. Yeah.
No worries. No worries. All right. Thank you, ladies. I'll drop out.
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Bye bye.
Good night.
Night.